Hey everyone, welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash, and this show is going to be all about finding the value in the AFC prior to the draft that comes up in a few weeks' time. We're going to try and make sure that whatever number you take now or next week, it will not be available bigger after the draft. And I've got three unbelievable guests. Respect, experience, and class. I don't know who wants to own which one, but I'm going to start with the AFC South. Donny, I've thrown you under the bus because this one is close your eyes and pin the towel on the donkey.
Yeah, but Flash, I think we're starting right now with pure class, which is what I'm going to go with. I'll steal that one first. But if we look at these four teams in the AFC South, there's a lot of turmoil in each one of these teams. If we're taking a look at the Houston Texans, we've all seen the offseason, trade your best player, get the fallout. We'll see what happens. The Jacksonville Jaguars selling off all their bits and pieces in hopes to maybe stack some draft capital by the time they get over and play in the UK as their home team, as being the home team there. And then we also take a look at the Indianapolis Colts, still trying to find their quarterback, go out and get Phillip Rivers. If we're taking a look at overall coaching staffs in this division, it's clear cut for me. It's the Colts sitting there plus 143. But if we take a look and go down, the team with the least amount of turmoil to me is the Tennessee Titans heading in. Look, franchised their star running back, also signed a long-term deal to Tannehill. Now, look, if you look at the regular season last year, there wasn't a quarterback around, and especially as efficient as Ryan Tannehill was with that passer rating up around 120. But then you see the real quarterbacks come out to play in the playoffs where it was almost like, hey, don't lose it for it, Ryan, even though you were the engine of the offense along with our tailback during the regular season. That changed. So if we're only dealing with to win the division and not looking long-term into the playoffs, I think it's a nice price that you would get on the Tennessee Titans at plus 180. I love the Colts in this division. I just wish they made a different move, Flash, at quarterback, and I would really get behind them. But for those numbers and odds that are moving, I think the Tennessee Titans get a nice price at that plus 180 sitting there in second place for me, Flash.
Yeah, there is plus 200 available in places as well if you really, really shop around. Drew, I look at these teams, and I just got them all down as spoilers. They're no team that you're going to go up against and go say, well, no, we'll win that game. They will upset a few of the bigger boys, but I can't have any of them with any sort of guarantee that they're going to win a division.
No, same. And I almost want to get a little creative here. Can we find a prop that's like the Titans will win 9 games exactly and win the AFC South? Because I feel like that's their destiny. Like year in, year out, the Titans figure out how to get to 9 wins. Tannehill he's like the quintessential, a little better than average quarterback. Mike Vrabel is a fine head coach. They have talent on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, although they did lose a couple of guys that I think are going to be pretty meaningful. Losing Casey on the D-line is going to be big. Losing Conklin on the O-line could matter. So there's going to be some road bumps here as they try to kind of take some of the success that they had in last year's playoffs and manifest it into taking control of this kind of wild card division. But I agree with Donnie's sentiments. You can immediately write off the Jags. The Jags are going to be in competition for the most losses this season, more likely than they're going to be in the competition to win this division. And I would say the Colts, again, echoing Donnie's sentiment, had they gone any other direction besides Phillip Rivers, I would be making the case, hey, man, Frank is an amazing coach. Grigson is an incredible GM. They'll figure something out. They'll be competitive, but I'm not feeling Phillip Rivers at all. I think it's pretty likely he's going to end up getting the hook at some point over the course of the season because I think he's done done. So that leaves the Texans and the Titans, and obviously Bill O'Brien has done everything he can to take all of the talent away from Deshaun Watson and ask him to go get it done with Joe and Bob from the loading docks. But the Watson is still good enough to win 8 games probably, which puts them in contention. But I would say that just between those two teams, you have to give the talent tip in the direction to the Titans, and I think they win the South with like a 9-7 type of record.
Yeah, I fancy we might see a couple of 9-7s in this one, Teddy. I think we see 2 of these sides go through to the playoffs. The Texans over 7.5 I like. And again, a real big number was I saw the Texans at plus 3,000 for the AFC.
So there's certainly things to like about the Texans. And oftentimes I'm looking to put my money on a team that made a wildly unpopular move in the offseason, like the Hopkins trade, where everybody hates it. Oh my God, it's the worst trade I've ever seen, and how this organization, and you find value with teams like that. All right. Watson is the best QB in the division. Okay. So you have the best quarterback on a team that nobody likes. But again, this is one offseason where organizations matter a ton. And Bill O'Brien, as the organization in Houston, is not a guy that I trust. Jacksonville's a nightmare. So that literally, I mean, I know I'm reiterating what's already been said, but in my mind, it is a two-team race, the two favorites, the Colts and the Titans. And if I had to pick between one of the two, I want the quarterback with the proven postseason track record. That's Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah,
Not Philip Rivers.
I think if we went round again, I think we could make a case for them all. What about the one that we haven't said, and that's the Jags under? I've got them coming in the bottom two, possibly with the Redskins. A quick one, under or over, one-word answer. Donnie, the Jags.
I'm under, one word.
Drew?
Yeah, under.
Teddy?
I'll go over. I don't bet under 4.5.
Even with the Jags?
Yeah, I mean, because I'm saying numbers any range between 4.5 and 5.5. At 4.5, I could only bet over. I do not bet under 4.5 wins.
And if you see the
Look at
5.5
Miami last year. Miami was the god-awful worst team any of us have ever seen for the first month of the season, and they got the 5 wins. I don't bet under 4.5 wins.
Yeah, okay. So if we see a market at 5.5, would you go under 5.5?
Yes.
So you fancy they're good for 5 wins. Okay, well, that's the AFC South. Pin the tail on the donkey, turn it upside down, and the only one you can really say is that the Jags will come bottom. Good season ahead, and they will mess about with some teams. Now, go to the AFC West, and we'll find the other half of a parlay that we all want to be with. We said the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North. Now we're going to go with the Chiefs in the AFC West. I'm going to start with you, Teddy. We've got the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Chargers.
So, I mean, what are you looking at with KC? Minus 350, minus $3, minus $4. I will not lay that on any team to win a division. All Patrick Mahomes has to do is, oh man, I just broke my pinky. And guess what? You know, Chiefs don't deserve to be in that range. Plus, I legitimately like the moves that all 3 of the other teams in this division have made. I think there's upside with Denver. I think there's upside with the Chargers. And I think there's upside with the Raiders as they move to Vegas. So when I have 3 teams at plus 800 that I'm seeing we got upside with, and a favorite that the Chiefs deserve to be the favorite. They deserve to be a $2 favorite, $2.50 even. At this price range, I can't lay it with KC. I really can't. I could only look at the dogs. And there's a case to be made for all 3 of them. Denver, to me, I like Denver and the Chargers both as live long shots. And if I was going to take an 8-1 shot in this division, I'd probably take 2 of them in terms of the Chargers and the Broncos in order to knock off KC. I'll risk 2 units. I'll get back 8 if we see the upset. To me, that's the bet for the AFC West division that makes the most sense.
Okay, well, also with the Chiefs, Donnie, it's over 11.5. Are they a 12-4 minimum? And also, what about the Super Bowl at plus 650? That seems to be the value.
Staying healthy, they're probably going to get to 12 wins because of how good Patrick Mahomes is, and Andy Reid's a great coach, and they'll be able to retool and rekindle. Going towards the positive prices there for the AFC, that could be a little bit different. But if we take a look in this division here, Flash, for the West, 3 words stick out to me. Go, Chargers, go. This team is loaded on defense, and I'm just hoping they sit back because usually when an NFL team, Flash, sits out and says, you know what? We really like Tyrod Taylor. We have no plans for making any other moves. That signals we're going to make a move for a quarterback. If they get a legit quarterback in there to go with those offensive weapons, including running back as well as wide receiver, and then look at this defense. Joey Bosa, Linval Joseph, Justin Jones, and Melvin Ingram just on that front line with a nasty secondary. Teddy's right. I'm not taking the Kansas City Chiefs at minus 350 unless they have another the second quarterback on that team. I love the Chargers in this spot. 8-1, give me that all day long.
Yeah, I just think he goes against the grain, really, because we've been saying all the way through that we want continuity. Well, we've got the Super Bowl champions. We've got Andy Reid and the best quarterback in football. And you just double them up with the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North, and you're going to get plus money, Drew.
Yeah, that's my approach on this one, and I agree with most of the points being made. And I generally take the approach of, if you see some team that's this favorably priced, and there's so much uncertainty, so many injuries are possible, so many unknowns that can happen over the course of the season, the probability just has to be in your favor to go against it. That said, you apply that strategy to the Patriots over the last 10 years, and you'd be out panhandling for lunch money. So it's tough to put the Chiefs anywhere in the same category as these other teams based on the experience, based on the talent, based on the quarterback. Pat Mahomes in a division with Tyrod Taylor, Derek Carr, and Drew Lock. This is not necessarily tough competition for him. This is very reminiscent of the olden days with Tom Brady going up against the sad sacks of the AFC East. And I do think that the Chiefs should win this going away. Donnie's points about the Chargers are very, very strong. Their defense is going to be absolutely out of this world good. And they'll probably win 8 or 9 games because of that. They look likely to get a wild card spot. I would take a flyer on them to get a playoff, to qualify for the playoffs. That seems like a fair angle to shoot on the Chargers, because Tyrod Taylor's the kind of quarterback who's not going to make mistakes and take you out of games. He's most likely just going to kind of take care of the football and let your defense win you kind of a close, low-scoring game. Now, all that said, that's not going to get you a win against the Chiefs. You can't go into those type of games with the mindset, hey, we're going to beat these Chiefs by scoring 20-something points. You're going to have much more offensive firepower to get it done. So I don't think the Chargers are going to be able to go get head-to-head wins against these Kansas City boys. And that sets up for pretty well then for the Chiefs as a parlay leg. And, it's not going to get any shorter between here and the draft. I don't know. I'm curious what Donnie's take is on who the Chargers are going to make this quarterback move. I kind of gotten the whiff that they're going to take a quarterback at 6 overall, whoever falls out between Justin Herbert and Tua. But maybe if they made a move and brought in a player like Winston or something like that, they got a little bit more aggressive and raised their ceiling offensively, then I'm a little bit more concerned about a Chiefs parlay leg to win the West, but still not especially concerned.
Okay, what about the Super Bowl? One word answer. I'm going to start with you, Teddy. Kansas at plus 650. Are they the rightful favorites?
Yes.
Donnie?
Yes.
Drew?
They're the rightful favorites, but
is the value at
650 all day, every day? Give me the Ravens all day, every day.
Oh, you're going back to the well again with the Ravens, even though you've got Choke McChoke throwing the balls. I cannot believe that. But listen, none of us can wait. I thank you, gentlemen. Absolute expertise. You're absolute class act. So, Drew, Donnie, and Teddy, thank you very much. That's the value in the AFC before the draft. All sorted. Roll on August. We cannot wait. I know it's not good to wish your life away, but I'm doing just that. See you soon.